Hey everybody. I don't have a canned opening. It just starts to happen. The ball starts rolling. Shit starts happening. Welcome to Just Kelly Time. Hope you had a great week. Hope you had a great day. Hope you had a great month. Hope everybody's doing the best that they can because you're going to keep swimming. Everybody's always swimming. I always say that now, that we just keep swimming. No matter what happens, you just keep swimming, because if you stop, you're going to drown. Regardless if somebody that you love died, you got to keep swimming or you'll drown. That's the idea. But here's the funny part. What if you won't drown if you stop swimming? What if you actually just stand up and you realize that you're in 2 feet of fucking water and you're struggling for no reason at all? What if you can actually swim without struggling, and you were told that there's no other way to swim other than to fucking fight for your life so you don't drown? You ever just want to roll over on your backstroke? You can float on your back. If you just lay on your back, you can float. If you got a certain kind of skin that will deteriorate in the sun, it's probably better that you swim at night, but the water's cold. If you like cold water, unless you live in an area that has warm water, like Puerto Rico or Hawaii, because those are the only 2 places I have been where the water is warm. I live in California, and I don't even go to the beach because the water is fucking cold. All the water at the beach is cold. It's never at a temperature where I'm like, ooh, that's not so bad. It's always fucking cold. Graphic comment coming in. It's always fucking looking, it always looks dirty. You know why it looks dirty? Because there's a lot of fucking homeless people in Los Angeles, in California, in Southern Cal, that go to the beach to wash and bathe and touch water and to clean themselves. It's not their fault. It's society's fault. We left some people behind. So the water's dirty. And I'm also OCD about the water. Even though I got into the water in Hawaii and fucking Puerto Rico, I go to Hawaii and Puerto Rico and I try to convince myself that this water is cleaner than the water in California, because there's no fucking way someone would throw heroin needles or cocaine or a tampon or shit in a place this fucking beautiful, right? There's no way, right? Wrong. It happens. I just tell myself that it's not happening because I want to believe that I'm in this euphoric place, that I'm in a happy space where no one would violate and fuck this place up. That's what I tell myself. So I don't go to the beach. Rarely go to the beach. Plus, I don't like sand. Sand is forever. I don't give a fuck. Go to the beach now. 2 years from now, you're going to be shaking sand out of whatever the fuck you wore to the beach. Unless you have a crazy ass fucking vacuum cleaner or washing machine that could just somehow just pull the sand out of your garments. Like, we wish there was a machine that could pull the mercury out of your body so it won't kill you. So I don't go to the beach. I don't. I would like to more often. I don't take time to just go and unwind. I don't allow myself to really unwind. You would think that because I never allow myself to unwind that I would have so much more in fucking life, since I don't take fucking days off. But that is not the fucking case. I am in the gym practicing every day, and I'm still not getting in the game. I had to change my jump shot, change my format, change my position, change my posture. If you listen to this podcast, I encourage you to entertain the possibility of standing up and seeing if the ground is closer than you think. I challenge you to lay on your back to see if you can float. I challenge you to just say, you know what, let me go the other direction. Or how about we just try to figure out where the fuck the land is and go to that bitch. I say that as a hypocrite because I probably won't ever do it. And that is a problem for me. Because once again, for those who are listening for the very first time, Just Killing Time is basically me trying to figure out why I should care about something that in hindsight won't matter to me when I'm gone. Why does this thing exist? Why is this even something I should have to consider? Why am I allowing someone else's perception of me to have so much weight over me? And I don't know why for a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that I allow their perception of me to weigh over me. And then I try not to think of the person whose perception is weighing over me in a way that makes me say, I don't care if you die. Because I can go there. There's a lot of people where if somebody texts me a certain person was dead, I would be like, I'm about to go get Cinnabon. So I don't know what to do with that information. There's a lot of people that I know personally, have been intimate with, where if someone called me and said this person just passed, I'd be like, that's crazy because I didn't get my fucking CD back from that person. I'm okay with certain people not existing, and that's my truth. That's my honesty. Like if certain people left, I would be like, I'm breathing better, or my air hasn't changed. I'm breathing a little lighter, probably. I don't know. That's how I feel. And you being uncomfortable with how I feel isn't going to change how I feel. So if you have an issue with that, I would probably just they got these new pills out called Keep It To Yourself. You take these Keep It To Yourself pills. Like when you think you're about to fucking say something that you want somebody to give a fuck about, but if you really sit with it long enough, you'll realize that won't nobody give a fuck about it but you. And then you'll go on this crusade to get other people to give a fuck about the thing that you wish the person who don't give a fuck about it would. That's society. That's what society does. People will say, I care about this, or I feel like this. And if the person that they're projecting that on doesn't respond to them, then they'll go out and create an army of people to say, this person doesn't care about me. And then get all these other people to like, this person is terrible because this person doesn't care about this person. Like, why would you do that? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then if you know that what you want somebody to care about is all about ego, about you, save everybody, including yourself, some time and just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself pills side effects may cause you being quiet a lot because no one's having to listen to you talk about some shit that don't fucking matter. Some of the side effects to keep it to yourself is you may actually have more friends if you just probably shut the fuck up bitching about something because you don't have anything to really give a fuck about, but you need to feel like you're a part of the conversation. Like every thing that goes trending on Instagram and Twitter every week, someone's like, I need more people to care about this, and the thing is just completely absurd. But because there are people out here that don't have a cause, they'll gravitate to it because they want to belong to some people, because that's the whole thing about society as us. We need to belong. This urge to believe that we need to belong around other people. So I basically just sit and think about different things that stress me out. And then I thought today I would talk about grief. Grief is a hard one. David Sedaris just wrote a book about, I think, grief, in a sense that he wrote a book about his dad and how his dad was mean to him. David Sedaris is a writer from Raleigh, North Carolina. His sister is Amy Sedaris. Very sarcastic, funny, satirical writer. He's written for the New York Times. He has a lot of books. I have some of his books. He's an asshole. He has a masterclass, but he's an asshole. Like when you talk to him, it's just like he knows he's smart and he knows, that when you look at him, you're like, you can tell he don't give a fuck about what you're talking about, but he's entertaining it because he's bored. Like he's like, It's just funny to watch. I don't even think he means to do it. I just think that he's carved out his place in life to the point that there's only so many things matter to him, and everything else is just right. It could be that. I could be reading it wrong. It's speculation. but I read David Sedaris books. Um, and he talks about grief, his dad dying, and what he had to deal with. Recently, I've dealt with a lot of grief because I've had a lot of friends die. Carlo Flanagan, Rashida Denton, Paul Mooney, Teddy Ray just recently passed. Jack Knight recently passed. Fuquan Johnson passed. Buddy of mine named TJ Vincent from high school passed, and I felt bad because during the pandemic he reached out to me, and he did what anybody else during the pandemic was doing, and that was trying to survive and cope. And he reached out to me on Facebook and was like, "Yo, man, I want to work together with you on some stuff." And I ignored it because it was the early stages of the pandemic, and I really thought the world was coming to an end, and I was just trying to get in a place where I was comfortable with the world not existing anymore. And the last thing I wanted to do was think about creating a project that I'm not going to be here for. So when he kind of reached out to me, plus he's in North Carolina, so I was like, "Oh God, this guy's not. What the fuck is he talking about?" And I didn't respond to the message. I don't respond to a lot of messages from people from back home because I don't know where they're coming from. Are you reaching out because you think I'm doing well? Are you reaching out because you think that if you help me, I'll get to where I'm going? Like, do you think you're the piece that's missing? Are you reaching out to me because you about to tell me about your dream to come out to do what I've been doing and you want some help? Like, every scenario makes me want to not answer the message because I don't have the energy for that type of conversation. And it was sort of that kind of conversation. But TJ was a cool guy, and when I say a cool guy, like he was cool to me. I can only go by my experience with somebody else. Also, I never saw him being mean or rude to anybody else. So, he was 2 for 2 with me. And he died from COVID, which was shocking because he's a young guy. And he looked relatively healthy. And when he died, I was like, fuck. And then it goes back to that Atticus quote where, I don't want to love anything that death can touch. Comes back to me, and I'm like, fuck. I like that guy. I had a good experience with that person. Like, if I had to Yelp people, I'm giving him good reviews. I Yelp people. I rate. Like, I had a good experience with this person. California has a fucking F in the fucking window as far as my experience with people. And you know what? That's not fair. I'm not going to say California. I'm going to say society as a whole probably has a D plus in the window in terms of probably an F plus. What the fuck is F plus? Like, that was the dumbest shit in the school. F plus? Bitch, I'm doing better. I'm doing great at failing. F plus is great at failing. I'm gonna write that down. You gotta just bear with me. This is how Daddy's gonna create material. These are where the jokes are gonna come from. So when you come out to see me, you can be like, oh shit. I don't know if anybody's ever talked about this, but I'm dead ass. Remember in school, you would get an A plus, A minus, just the A. A plus is good, A, and the A minus is like, it was almost a great A, a good A, but it's just an okay A. And the F plus was like, I'm doing great at failing. Like, if failing was the norm or the thing to shoot for, I would be doing great at failing. What the fuck is F plus? I never understood that. So society would probably get an F plus with me. We don't want to fix anything. Everything is a 4-year plan, and 4-year plan is when people get elected. Everything is just, nobody wants to fix it. It won't get done in this generation. There's so many things that are wrong about this generation and the previous generations and the previous generations that it's like cancer. A lot of people have to die before things will get better. And that's the sad truth. A lot of people have to die before things get better. Theoretically, we all should go and then let somebody else take over, because you got the people who feel like they've been mistreated for so long and they deserve their time to have the spotlight, and they're going to be dicks about it. And then the people who had the spotlight for a long time that's going to be sitting in the background are going to come back to get their spotlight and going to fuck the people up and then treat the people worse than they did the first goddamn time. And then the people going to fight back. It's a stupid ass series. Life is a dumb movie. It's a dumb HBO series that, if it's lucky, will get canceled like every other HBO show. HBO canceled Sesame Street. How do you cancel fucking learning? How do you cancel learning? How the fuck do you say, oh, fuck that? Just make them smart enough to get jobs to pay for this fucking content we putting out. I fidget a lot when I'm on camera because, like, I'm sitting on a piece of fucking wood. 2, I still got a bit of a sore thigh thing. And 3, I move when I think. Like, I move my hands, my head. I feel like if I'm moving, the blood is moving, I'm flowing, shit is coming out of me. It's like when you got a shit and they tell you to rock back and forth. This is me trying to shit. Me moving around, this is me trying to shit. Like, I just want to get this shit out, so I just keep moving. So, talked to a friend of mine who's a therapist, and I told her that I am exploring grief. What is grief? Is there a grieving process? What is grieving? So, perception, reality, and truth exist because of environment, experience, culture, etc. It is different for everyone, developed out of many variables that shape how one sees or moves through their space. So you and I could go to an event together and we can both walk away with 2 different opinions about what we saw. I can go and be like, yo, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen in my life. And you be like, I don't know what the fuck that was. Like, that was boring to me. I'm over here, my brain bleeding because I can't believe what I witnessed. And you're like, man, let's go get in and out because that didn't do anything for me. So, like, I could be standing next to you and then never leave you the entire tour. Like, we can go to a movie together and we can leave the theater and they be like, did you like that movie? And I'd be like, it's just, what's the name of the title of the movie? Nope. That's what I felt about the movie. Nope. Right? I'm not saying that, but the tongue-in-cheek of it works, right? Honesty and fact are very flat or on or off context. It either is or is not. It's more or less. The answer is yes or no. It's just black and white. Fact, honesty, I guess. I feel like I'm rambling right there because I was trying to really understand. But basically, grieving is a cyclical process where one goes through. You go through shock and denial, pain and guilt, anger and bargaining, depression, acceptance. So if we're talking about grieving, in my standpoint, I'm grieving Ricardo Flanagan because that was one of the people that lived in this world where I felt safe being myself in front of Ricardo. Like, I could be who I could say the most fucked up shit, and I'm not out to say the fucked up shit. It's just that I don't have a filter, and whatever you need to care, whatever you need inside of you to care about what you're going to say before you say it, it loosens up around certain people. Like, I'm sure people, refrain from saying certain words around black people until they get with their friends. So shock and denial. Shock, yes, I went through shock with Ricardo. Denial, not so much. More, I went straight to anger, pain. I think the guilt, pain of it, losing him. The guilt, I think, came from not going over and checking on him more or not calling him more. I think the guilt of thinking that if I had called on him more, he would still be here, or the guilt of thinking that maybe if I forced him to go to the doctor, it would have been better. Like, I don't know what I could have done to have made sure he lived and not get myself sick too at the same time. Not really denial, the pain and the guilt and anger, a lot of anger. There's no bargaining. They say anger and bargaining. I don't bargain. I'm not a bargainer. I'm not going to bargain. I'm not going to bargain at all. I'm not going to be one of those people where I'm laying on my deathbed and the devil's like, hey, if you don't want to die, you got to give me something. And I'm like, nope, I'm good. He's like, you don't want to live? I do, but I'm not about to fucking suck your dick every day until I die. That's until you ready to call me. It's not happening. But anger for a long time, still angry. Depression from it, yes, depression from it. But guess what? I'm a black man in America. If I'm not working and creating value and making money so people can get money from me, what I'm going through doesn't matter. Depression for men, especially men, black men of color, is like chlamydia. We don't see any symptoms. We don't see anything, so you don't really have it. And any behavior that you do that would be classified as depression is deemed as you being trifling or disrespectful or a piece of shit. So no one wants to know why you do what you do. You just are diagnosed as a piece of shit. I have not yet accepted the fact that Ricardo is dead. When I say, well, I know he's dead, I haven't accepted the fact that he's gone. Like, it's just fucked up. Funny dude, smart, good to people, and still there are people out here who have sexual allegation charges for fucking children that can get those charges swept under the rug and continue to prosper in a field where we claim to have integrity and honesty and whatever, and it's just the measurements move for individuals. It's an individual thing. It's just not like, oh, the standard is across the board for everybody. It's case by case. Like Deshaun Watson situation and Ben Roethlisberger, 2 rape allegations. Deshaun Watson, 24 sexual allegations of touching women and stuff inappropriately. No one said rape, but definitely touch, fondle, whatever. Doesn't matter. Both men are disgusting. And one actually tried to take some. I don't know if Deshaun got to the point where, before Bill Cosby, I would say, man, you got to be a crazy black man to try to take pussy from. If you're a man, you try to take sex from a woman, it's wrong. But to be a black man and try to take sex from a white woman, it's just, my head is spinning when I hear it. It's like, you're a black dude in this country where they don't care about killing you for the slightest thing, and then you have the audacity to go out here and pull this shit. What are you thinking, dude? You fucking it up for you fucking up for everybody. Some people say, we're not a monolith. We're not. But complexion lift, we are. Across the board, if you got the same complexion as there's a whole bunch of other motherfuckers, they not trying to figure out which one is the good one. We all pieces of shit. Who got time to get to know a bitch? So you can grieve through my depression of grieving. I play video games. I may buy some shit, ignore some phone calls, deal with some anxiety, not eat, not work out, not want to perform. Write very good when I'm depressed. I think that's the fucked up trade-off. Is like, I can write good when I'm depressed, but I'm also fucking depressed. Because when I'm depressed, I'm in my thoughts. As much as I love writing a good joke, I got to get out of that depression sometimes. And you can have grief over anything. You can have grief over a breakup. You can have grief over losing a job, finances, loss, house burned down, lost, never found again. Like, you lost something. You could grieve over something you lost. A relationship, missed opportunities, a relationship, finances lost due to a relationship, or you didn't have finances, so you couldn't get a relationship. So you have to grieve that you lost your job, you lost your relationship. Someone broke up with you, that's your relationship. All this shit is relationships. I'm specifically speaking from dating point of view, but yes, grief, man. We have to honor the fact that we should give each other time to deal with our grief. Everybody ages differently. Everybody matures differently. Everybody gains weight differently. People's hair grow differently. Everybody's fucking different. If you want everybody to be different, stop fucking making everything across the board. Stop trying to make everything apply across the board for everybody. everybody's different. Everybody's fucking different, but we're all human. And if we can just respect the fact that we're all fucking human and say, look, that person's grieving. If you can see it, you can see it. I think Anne Hayes was grieving. No one gave a fuck. They trashed this woman. I don't even know this white woman. I don't have a horse in the race when it comes to this white woman. This is a white woman who succeeded in this world. She did great for herself. She still died, and motherfuckers went on the internet and ripped this motherfucker a new asshole. That's what she get. She deserved that. She should have been off the machine a long time ago. Humans are the worst part of fucking humanity. Write it down. Put it in the Christmas card. Send it to your best friend. Send it to your cousin in jail. Send it to your baby mama. Send it to your baby daddy. I don't give a fuck. Humans are the worst part of fucking humanity. Write it down. Put that shit on a t-shirt. Humans are the worst humans. People are the worst type of fucking people. I always say that. People are the worst type of fucking people. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. People are the worst type of people. The thing I hate about people is people. I say it all the time on stage. People are fucking disgusting. It's the worst part. We're so fake. We're phony. We're Christian. We're Muslim. We're all this. We everything except fucking honest about the fact that we ain't shit. We're going to do what's best for us. And we won't allow each other the capacity to grieve. Grieve a loss. Figure out a way to grieve it healthy. Not with drugs, not with alcohol, not with robbing people, not with beating people up. You got to find healthy ways to grieve. You got to find healthy ways to get over it. You got to find healthy ways to cope. Video games for me, fucking put myself around people that I think I care about to numb the pain and feeling shittier about it. Terrible at grieving, buying stuff that I don't want to buy. But yet I won't take myself anywhere. I won't travel because I want to travel out of the country and I can't. That's why I won't grieve properly. I want to get out the fucking country. I want to get kicked out of the United States if that means I get to fucking travel the world. Not asylum to fucking Ukraine or some shit. I got to work fucking the Laugh Factory in Ukraine. Coming to the stage, next comedian, Maronzio Vance. I don't know. It's a terrible... I don't know what accent that was. Don't hold my feet to the flame for that. I just did an accent. I've never been out of the country. I'm only going by what I've seen on TV. I'm mimicking television. Television raised me. Leave me alone. If you want to grieve something, you want to talk to somebody about it, reach out to me. Email me at jktpodcast@gmail.com. Tell me what you're trying to grieve. Tell me how you've been trying to grieve. And then I can make a decision if I want to listen to you talk about it, or we could try to talk it through it together or whatever. But I'm here to support you if you are grieving something, because I'm grieving a lot of shit. I'm grieving a childhood. I'm grieving my child fucking hood. From the age of 6, I am grieving a childhood. I'm grieving a lost childhood. I am grieving a loss of time that I will never get back. I'm grieving all the time I spend thinking about why I exist, but yet I can't break that cycle of trying to figure out why I exist and why the things that keep me from doing whatever the fuck I want to do exist, and why the fuck do I have to stay connected to people that I don't want to feel connected, that I don't want to be connected to, because I don't feel safe around them, because society says I have to. There are people that exist in this world that cannot harm me physically, but if I'm in their space, I am uncomfortable the way I was during my childhood when I was inappropriately touched by people. There are human beings that exist that make me fucking hate I exist. There are people on this planet that I know, that I have been intimate with, that make me fucking hate I exist. And there is nothing. Thanos, Charlie Brown, Spawn, Punisher, Daredevil, Gay Batman, I don't give a fuck. There's nothing that can change my mind about the fact that I do not feel comfortable in the presence of a human being that managed to make me feel so uncomfortable about existing. Don't want to be around it. Fucking don't want to see it. Don't want to talk about it. And it's, the book I'm writing, the essays that I'm putting together, dude. When I tell you I'm putting the blood on the pad and the pen has the blood in it. Shit is like Bane. All the venom in me, all my pain, all my frustration, all my anger, depression. The shit is coming out of tubes into my hand and then going into a pen, and I'm putting that shit in a book and I'm writing this shit out. It's gonna be listen to me. I'm going to be so fucking cutthroat honest, and it don't matter who believes me or not. I know my truth, and I'm just gonna get that shit out. I don't give a fuck. But somebody can read this and say, woo, that's a lot. God damn, that's a lot. I'm also this is Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, all these other websites that this shit would be on. So peep game, right? I want to perform one-man shows. I don't want to do comedy clubs. I want to do one-man shows. I got to build a following that would allow me to go do these one-man shows of all the stuff that I write that I want to perform in front of people. And I can only do that if followers come and people say, oh, I like this guy. I want to pay to see this shit. I want to see more. What the fuck this is. This is what the game is. I don't have the energy to try to slide the medicine in the applesauce. Look, people, I'm going to create some content. You like it. We engage. And then I'll come to a fucking city that you're in. You'll see the maturation of all of this that I have created in a one-man show, and then I'll film it and I'll put it out for other motherfuckers who did not get the opportunity to come see it, or you can read about it in the book, or you can read about it in a comic book or a comic strip, or you could watch it. Like whatever is coming, I just need people to like support it. If you like what I'm doing, share it with other motherfuckers. If you want to donate to the podcast, donate to the museum. I'm calling this the Museum of Fine Art. Well, that's not the name of it, but I'll figure out a name for the museum. But long story short, I am creating this museum of thoughts and perceptions, and this is a part of it. So me, Apple box, a clock, me moving around like a fucking addict a bunch, and telling these goddamn stories. But if you're grieving, you want to talk about it, I'm thinking about putting together like a Zoom chat room where everybody can get in a room together, and we could try to find a way to make something funny about what you're grieving. Because that's all I try to do. I try to find a way to make Carlos passing funny, or I think about something he said that makes me laugh. I try to make that last. See how long I can stretch it, add water to it, expound upon it, make it more everyday for me, so I could be okay, so I feel like he's still around me. I did with a comic book that I created that I'll talk about more later. But I got some people helping me put this together. Like I got an editor named Dustin. I think Dustin also is going to do the audio for me. I may get the audio to somebody else. I don't know. Maybe asking too much of Dustin. Some other people is going to help me chop the shit up, put it on the internet, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the fuck. I'm doing the shit. I can only do this part. All the other shit I cannot fucking do. I thought I had my pick in my head. If you're listening to this, you can't see it, but I thought I had my pick in my head the entire time. I kept like wanting to reach for it, but I had it in my head earlier today, and the phantom feel of it has just been like, fuck, I feel like my head is being swung back because of this pick antenna. So with that being said, email me at jktpodcast@gmail.com. I'm just sharing perspective. If you want to talk about some shit, I'm here for it. Support it if you like it. This is what I do. This is how I choose to kill my time. I'm only here for a limited time only, and this is what I decided to do with the little bit of time I have. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you don't feel like you wasted your time. Peace.